Welcome to High Tea with Me, with your host, Katrina Brittingham. You brought your favorite beverage, and she brought the career advice. Now sit back and relax while you get advice that will take you to the next destination in your career or business. And now, Katrina Brittingham.
Hello, I'm Katrina Brittingham, and I am the host of High Tea with Me. Welcome to another episode. Before we begin, I would like to say, please subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, friend me so that you can see new episodes that come out. On Instagram, connect with me or follow me. And on LinkedIn, you can connect with me as well. Today's topic is one that will help businesses that are family owned, small businesses that are family owned, talking about some of the rules that they face and providing some solutions to the problems to help family businesses, small family businesses grow. As you know, every business has some sort of role, some sort of problem. And so to get to the root of this, we are going to go through the top 10 things that small businesses that are family owned go through. And number one is dealing with emotional, physical, financial issues of family members that work in the business. And so, you have to deal with those things. Even if you have regular employees, you have to deal with these items. So having programs set up for people where they can learn budget management, to help them with their financial issues, having mental health benefits for people and counseling for people so that they can work through their emotional issues, whether it's family or not. When you're working in a corporate setting or another type of business that is not family owned, people still have emotional issues, they still have family issues, they still have other issues that they may have to deal with. And they have some programs set up, EAP, employee assistance, and things like that, that will help. Small business owners sometimes struggle with health insurance. So getting someone in who is an expert at consulting for healthcare and providing the proper healthcare for the business would be a good way to break that and break the monotony and help get people the proper care that they need. Number two is having an informal culture or structure. Having a flexible, laid-back culture is a good thing. It can be a good thing. It can be a good incentive for employees. However, sometimes when you hire family, things are a little more lax. They don't feel like they need to come in and do as much work, or don't feel that they're covered, or they have a job because they're hired by a family member. I have experienced this in my business with friends and family, where you think that they'll be great working for you because they were hard workers everywhere else, and all of a sudden you hire them and you get a lazy employee. You'll get an employee who'll give mediocre work, and then when you question them about it or you counsel them about it, then all of a sudden you're having issues because it's like, oh, I thought we were friends, or, oh, it's not such a big deal. But it is a big deal when you have a business. You want things to be accurate, you want it to be right, you want it to be timely. These are all things that you actually need. And I found myself in a situation where I had hired someone and I had to constantly take time out from what I was doing just to check to make sure that the work was done, that it was done properly, that they completed the assignment. And eventually I did have to wind up letting that person go from the organization because it just took too much time to correct things, sent them to training, did all kinds of things that a manager is supposed to do when you have a worker who is not meeting what they're supposed to meet. And with all the training, the hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars spent on training, making sure that this person gets what they are supposed to have in the business, having a friendly culture, having a lively culture, having a culture where the person could move up and they didn't feel stuck trying to find out what their goals were. Nothing worked. And it was a hard decision, especially when you have a tight knit small company and you have a family company to actually let someone go. So that's number two. The pressure to hire family members and friends when you have a business is really tough. I felt that too when I had a business. And I do have a business still, but when I first started out, we're just like, oh, can you find a position for me? Um, the family members coming to you asking, can you hire their children and things like that. It's a big responsibility. It's a lot of pressure on the owner to want to help out and hire friends and family who are in need and need work. And again, sometimes you run into a skill set problem where they don't have the skill set. And most times they're not trying to gain the skill set. They just want to have a job and say that they work for you. And this becomes high pressure, especially when you have W-2 employees and you have the taxes that you have to pay. There's the onboarding costs, there's the offboarding costs, there is the workers' compensation insurance. There are all kinds of things that you, as an owner, have to pay for, and to have a poor worker is draining. Period. But especially when it's a family member that you have to deal with, and it brings frustration. It brings some animosity. It brings all kinds of feelings and emotions, even on the owner of the company, because you want people that you can trust to do things in a business. So that can become an issue. It becomes hard to resist the pressure that you have from some people, depending on who they are. Like if it's your parent asking you to hire a cousin or aunt or things like that, because you love your family, you don't want to disappoint your family. But sometimes you have to resist the urge and say no. And that's one of the things that a seasoned business owner will, have to learn how to do. And I had to learn how to say no when the person didn't have the skills, or even they might have the skills, but they don't have the drive to do the job, drive to succeed. Again, it's surprising, very surprising. I found it surprising for myself, where you have someone who is a hard worker everywhere else, and then you get them, and they're a hard worker. They have moved up where they are in the companies that they worked and did very well, and then they work for you, and you get a whole different person. You get a whole different personality. You get a whole different type of drain on your business. The third thing is in family-owned businesses, small businesses, is a lack of training. And so you'll have where sometimes small businesses find it hard to, have proper training and pay for training for employees, employees that are family and employees who are not. The budget for that may be slim. I actually did not have that in my business because training was built in for myself. So pretty much automatically it was built in for the staff. So when I went to training events and things like that, I paid the extra for my employees to get the training as well that they needed. I provided some training on my own for certain things, because I had years of experience in training for myself, not for myself. I had years of training in business, years of training in business, and so I was able to provide that training. But sometimes you have a business owner that they know their job, but they don't know the rest of the training for the business. And again, it comes down to timing. They might not have time to train. So my suggestion to small business owners, especially when it comes to like office training and things like that, is to look online for different trainings. Set aside a budget to train your people, to make sure that they have the proper training. If you have to hire a consultant, hiring a consultant or a training consultant, someone that can come in and train on this specific area of the business. So that will help alleviate some of the stress for the training, and it's something that you may not necessarily have to run yourself. So that might be something to consider. High turnover for non-family members is number 5 on the list. And I found that as well. I've worked for family-owned businesses that, I early on, before I started a business, before I went to corporate, went to family-owned businesses and found that sometimes being able to move up was a struggle, because they would hire or promote family members prior to anyone else, in the business. So I had to wind up leaving. So you want to have that balance, especially with diversifying your culture and your staff, is to make sure that you have a solid plan for people to move up within your organization, whether it's family or whether it's someone who is not family. Sometimes there is even favoritism when it comes to projects, when it comes to raises and things like that in family-owned businesses. And so it causes non-family employees to feel like how they can move up. They don't think they can move up. They don't think they'll ever get a raise. They don't think that they will ever meet their potential in the company because it is family-owned and you have that dynamic and that culture. Again, sources for growth, moving into management roles, into a family organization. If the culture is that way, then you have people who feel like that they can't move and go anywhere, and it'll cause you to lose some good employees who are non-family members, and they will go on to greener pastures, places where they will be able to move up and have a have the opportunity to meet their goals and their dreams. So you want to make sure that you are listening to your employees, send out surveys, and everything like that to find out what the issues are. Anonymous surveys work better, and trust me, if you're in a family-owned business, you probably will know which survey is from someone who is not a family member. Having meetings with your staff, the one-on-one meetings with your staff, to get where they are, where their struggles are, and help them to get where they need to be. They do have free training or low-cost training for your staff if they want to grow and to move into other areas, and make those opportunities available to people who are not family members. Number 7 is a lack of an external view, which is a view of the actual marketplace, a view of other companies of your size that may be family owned or not family owned, getting a picture of your market, which your customers need. I talk about that as well, as far as doing market research and seeing how other companies are doing in comparison to you. So sometimes when you have a family culture in a business, you see the family culture, you see the business, you see your own business, you don't really see what's going on the outside. So you can have that strategy to meet the needs of yourself, your business. So a lot of times family businesses fail because they just don't have that resource and that research. Again, having a coach or outside consulting firm to come through to provide that data can help. It can be costly, or you can have someone in your family or non-family member do that research to find out what you need to do to be competitive in the market. There is also issues when it comes to who will take over the business. If you have a family business and you have children, a lot of times the oldest will feel like they'll be the one to take over the business, or you might have someone who maybe have worked the business a long time, worked up their VP or the next person in line, and they feel like they're going to be the ones to take over the business. Or sometimes, and more times than not, you have people who start a business and they assume that their children want to take over the business, and then you find that none of your children want the business and want to do what you do. And so now you have an issue with succession, which is the 10th thing, and finding out how you're going to handle the business once you're gone. Are you going to sell the business? And having that exit strategy so that if anything happens or anyone wants to retire, what's going to be the exit strategy for that person, and who's going to take over the role of that person when they leave. So these are some big things. So you might want to hire a financial planner, a financial advisor, a succession planner to help with those activities to find out who's going to do it so you can have a smooth transition. I worked for a family-owned business as a contractor when I first started out in business, and had a contract for several years and was working for a wonderful gentleman. I learned a lot under him, and he helped me a lot in a time where I was very junior in the type of business that I was doing, not business itself, but just owning my own company and things like that. And he kind of took me by the hand and helped me. Well, he got sick. He was still running the business and everything like that. Very encouraging, whatever. And two things happened. Number one, his children did not want to do the business. He did know that. He came up with a plan for succession that he actually tried to hand the business over to this person a number of times, and they said that they weren't ready. Well, he wound up passing away, and the person at first said that they weren't going to do the business, so the business shut down for a little bit. They came back and did the business, kind of didn't handle it well. So then the person's children had to come in, because of course now they wanted to save the legacy, but the business wasn't the same. The customers weren't as satisfied. The contractors were not as satisfied. So long story short, a lot of people left, including myself, left the organization. The organization is still there, but I have a lot of people who come to me who no longer want to do business with this company. And because of the contracting, that's their customer, so I have to send them back to the organization for having the services. So you want to make sure that everything is tight, to make sure that even if you hand the company over like this gentleman did to someone who was not a family member, you have to make sure that the person can handle what you're giving them. And if they can't, find something else, or someone else. And that was the downfall of the organization that I'm referring to. He did not find anyone else, and because he felt like this person had so much potential, but when it came down to it, they just really couldn't handle it. And so you want to make sure that you are doing that. And so those are my tips for a family-owned business. To get more information on how to run a family business, you can contact me at info@ventureready.net. It is also one of the topics for the upcoming conference in October 30th and 31st, the ExecutiveGPS Leadership Conference, which will be held here in Philadelphia if COVID-19 social distancing is completed and we're able to go out. More information will be coming on how we will handle going back into society and having this conference. And if things don't work out in that manner, we will have the conference virtually. And so the Executive GPS Conference is created for entrepreneurs and small businesses, people who want to start up their business, people who have been in business for a while and want to grow, or people who have found gaps in their processes, such as one of the gaps that we spoke about today. And so I admonish you to come. We will have business owners from across the country and across the globe. We will have financial people there, angel investors. We will have people from all industries that will help, thought leaders who will help you grow your business and make sure that your business is healthy and strong, from the foundational principles to managing your employees, mental health, as well as having them gain skills to grow and to thrive in your business. Also, I talk about some of my business and corporate roles and how I overcame them in my book called Why Not Me? Overcoming Insecurities to Gain Success. It is available on Amazon right now. And so you can search Why Not Me, or you can search Katrina Brittingham, and the link will be down in the comments section. I do thank you so very much for joining us for this episode of High Tea with Me, and have a wonderful day.